I just lost most of my money with a poor investment. How do I tell my partner?
Just tell them. I know it's really obvious, but just tell them, because whatever you try to do, the longer you try to wait, the more energy you put around, oh my God, this is the loss, the worse it's going to get. So we've all lost money, sometimes massive amounts of money. I invested a ton of money in something and I lost it all. And it was really hard for me. I mean, it still has some like potential lifeline to it. But what I'm focused on is that the money that I invested, I know that it actually went to a really good cause. I hope that they can turn it around. I hope that it'll all, have something that'll be on the back end that'll feel like a good investment. But I really had to go into my mind and do some serious scrubbing and say, yeah, I know why I invested. Here are the reasons. And even if it was a gut feeling, because that's where sometimes we get ourselves the most, when we actually take the like, ooh, I got that gut feeling, I'm going to invest. And sometimes we don't always have all of the pros and cons. But those are the best investments, because you did it with where you felt your money should go, and your money still made a huge difference. It paid the bills, it paid salaries. And so focus on that part of it. Now, I know you're going to say, well, but the reality is that we need the money now and it's gone, chances are. And so again, it's that transparency with your partner to say, here's why I invested. I'm working to reframe this, because if you don't reframe it, then every investment you make moving forward. So I don't make an investment unless I know I've cleared my energy of the investment that I lost. Unless I know for sure that I am in the energy of this new investment without the baggage of the other investment. So the truth will always set you free. It'll set you free with money. It'll set you free with partners. It'll set you free with anything and everything you do in life. And so talk to your partner and tell them the honest truth. And if you feel like you screwed up, tell them that too, but don't beat yourself up, because beating yourself up isn't going to help. You're going to get the lessons. I remember a long, long time ago, a boss of mine was talking about how someone screwed up really bad. And he goes, you'd think that they would have gotten fired for that. And I said, yeah, didn't they? And he said, no. He said, they didn't get fired because we knew that the wisdom that they gained based on the situation that they endured and had to go through and work through was more than, we would not want to start over with someone new that didn't have that wisdom and experience. So I feel that way about this investment, that you had some kind of, wisdom that now you're getting out of it and you're going to learn something from it. I learned something from mine. I might do things a little bit differently as a result, or maybe I would do the same things and I just would just switch my lens as to how I'm looking at it as I go along. So hopefully that's helpful. And if you have a chance to stick with it, like if you didn't have to sell out, like if it's not like an absolute loss, then I would, if you have an altar, you have anything that, you feel like has a charge to it, maybe a crystal, I would write down your intention for that money to still flourish, and put it on your altar, put it under the stone, whatever resonates for you, to thank the energies that be for this experience, as opposed to wallow in the loss, which, look, I do know it's difficult, but you can do it. And you will gain so much from this moving forward by just shifting the nuance and the lens. And I think you're going to find that your partner might be surprised at your vulnerability and your honesty. And I don't know, but this is what's coming to me, is that there might even be some tears. And so don't hold back speaking your truth, especially if you feel really bad about how you lost the money, because I think the tears are really cleansing for you as well, and cleansing for your partner to see. And I know that what happens when we get emotional is we kind of close up, we close our hearts, we close our minds, we close our ability to just say what's really on our heart. And so get to that space, that soft space, and whatever it is. And maybe you write it down. Maybe you write down some things you want to say. And if you feel like you need the crutch, you say, honey, like, I'm really nervous about this. I got to tell you something that is, I'm absolutely devastated. I've got my phone, I've got my notes, like, like, do not be ashamed and do not be shy of being emotional about this, because the more you can clear it, the better. And I think the more your partner can see how much you care and how much it meant, it'll create a really nice opportunity for vulnerability and for your partner to see you in a different way. So hopefully that's helpful. If anyone online, please, if you're watching on replay, you can always put a comment. You can add questions. You can go to bethbell.me/question. And there's so many other resources on bethbell.me. If you haven't done the State of the Heart assessment, please do. It's so important to know your state of the heart. And there's also the Awakening and Healing Handbook. Lots of tips, tools, techniques, modalities in there to help you with all of your awakening and spiritual growth. There's also the Psychedelics Resource Guide, which is a beautiful way to really dip into psychedelics and understand a little bit more about them. And maybe someone that you know is interested in them. It talks a lot about the integration. So there's a lot of juicy stuff in there. And then there's also the Herpes Handbook, which I love talking about herpes. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I'll say it every week, that it's a virus of the mind. We need to release this. And so the handbook goes into a lot of great information on herpes and the mind viruses that we get ourselves into. So please check those out. And I look forward to seeing you again next week, every Sunday, 11:11 Pacific time. Oh, and if you're interested in the Awaken Inner Wisdom community membership, you can also check that out on bethbell.me. So lots of resources there. I look forward to seeing you again next week. And until then, wishing you much bliss and love on the journey. Namaste.